One of the coolest things about being on YouTube right here with you, and I've said this before, I feel like we're in this room together just hanging out. I know it's a small 10 by 11 space, we wouldn't all fit, but I think you get where I'm going with this. I really feel like we're here together just jamming, sharing some things with each other. You know, of course, I always hope that you get some value out of my lessons and out of the gear that I cover and that sort of thing and the tips that I give. But we're sitting here just doing what we love to do, talking about the things that we're passionate about. One of the things I really love is videos like this where I get to not only share things with you, but also include you in some of the decisions that I'm making for my music. So I've got two short clips. There's an original version, we'll call this version A, and then there's version B. They're only about 1 minute and 20 seconds apiece, so not too long, but I want you to listen to these clips. But before you start telling me, before you start commenting on what you like the best, please stay around for the chat right after that, because I'm going to share some context with you, and it's very important that I share that with you. So hang around for that part as well. Let's hear these two clips. The context behind this before you start commenting, okay? The context is very important here. Of course, you probably favored one over the other. Maybe you like them both, but you guys know, number one, I have been kind of struggling with this guitar here since I bought it, my 7-string. This is the ESP E2 Horizon FR7. Wonderful guitar. I mean, it plays just like butter. It's like somebody put oil in the fretboard and they're just, you know, all over the place in a good way, you know. It just plays effortlessly. The thing that I struggle with, I think, is just the size of the neck. It's a bit difficult to get my hands around, and I just never felt like I fully connected with it. You know, I'll pick it up every few months, I'll play it, and I'm like, oh yes, I love this thing. And then I'll go back to my 6-string guitars and I'll end up putting this back in the case for a while. So it's actually been out of the case for quite some time now. So in any case, the first clip that you heard, that was the original song that I wrote, and this is actually part of what's coming up on the album. I probably shouldn't even be sharing this because this thing has not been released yet. I am in the finishing, the final stages of it here, even though I'm still kind of deciding on guitars, but we'll get to that. In any case though, I went back and I recorded another version with my Ibanez. This has kind of been my go-to guitar for quite some time, the Ibanez Prestige RG 1570. Love this guitar, it just fits. I love the Wizard necks, they just fit my hands perfectly. I even like the stock pickups. You guys know I changed those out a few years back, and I ended up putting the stock ones back in, the V7, V8s. But there are a couple of other things that I want to touch on here. So one, you saw me standing up playing, okay? I was standing up playing guitar, and the reason I'm doing that is because when I release this next album, I do plan on playing this live. Now, I know I'm just a solo act, just Jason Stallworth, but I plan on getting with a drummer. I've got a local drummer here. I'm gonna reach out to Ed Aborn. So Ed, if you're watching this, dude, well, that's coming. We're gonna have that conversation. And a bass player, possibly a rhythm guitar player as well. I want to play my music live. I will do that. So I am practicing these songs standing up so that I can get out there and actually perform them, which I am in the midst of writing lyrics as well. So I'm having to make sure, unlike what I did on my Masterpiece album, I have to make sure that I can also sing the parts and play them at the same time. I screwed up on a couple parts on a couple of songs on the Masterpiece album. It's just like, I get this one part, I'm like, I can't play this and sing it at the same time. So in any case, I'm making sure we don't have that issue this go around. The other thing is the weight of the guitar. The 7-string is a bit heavy. No pun intended, heavy metal. So you guys know I had a pinched nerve. I've got some nerve damage back here. I had a pinched nerve. It's been almost 2 years. This May 2023 will be 2 years since this thing happened. And long story short, guys, and a lot of you remember this, it zapped, like just deteriorated the muscle tissue in my left pec and my left tricep. I've still not fully recovered from that strength-wise. I'm probably 75%, 80% maybe. And I don't know that, you know, some of the muscle tissue will ever fully recover. But aside from that, I still train, 5-6 days a week. I do what I can, I push through. But aside from that, I went through some excruciating pain, so I'm a little conscious of that when I'm playing guitar. Now, you guys know I play 2 to 3 live acoustic solo gigs, and I throw in some electric on those from time to time. I've got the telly. It's not super heavy, and of course the acoustics are light, so I haven't had any issues, thank God. But I am kind of concerned about that with the 7-string and being a little bit heavier. I don't think that I will have issues. But there is a level of comfort that I feel like that I need to experience when I'm playing live. And if the guitar is just not feeling right, if it's too heavy, well then, okay, that's an issue too. So in any case, I'm practicing standing up. Now, one more thing, and I'm gonna ask you to vote on which one you like here. So the drum track you just heard was the same. So when I went back and rewrote some of the songs that I had originally written with the 7-string guitar, I actually had to change things around a little bit, okay? So I actually rewrote some of the songs, like that song you just heard. I completely rewrote it with the 6-string, so that was the exact same drum track you heard. So many of you might say, well, why don't you just put both versions? I don't really want to do that. A couple reasons, because the drum track's exactly the same. I don't feel like, I don't know, I feel like that would just kind of lessen the impact. Maybe nobody even noticed, but I noticed, and I just would prefer it to be a separate drum track. By the way, those drums are real drums recorded by the double bass master Cameron Fleury. Cameron, if you're seeing this, dude, I'm finally getting this out. He recorded these tracks over 2 years ago for me, so he's a phenomenal drummer. If you guys need a drummer, reach out to Cameron Fleury. He's on YouTube, he's on all the social media platforms. He doesn't know I'm telling you guys about him, but he's phenomenal. If you want real drums, he's just ultra awesome at recording those for you. Anyway, I'll leave a link to his channel in the description of this video, and also maybe his website. I'll put that in there as well. Also, and this is important, as I'm going to play this live, I don't want to have a 6-string and a 7-string. here's why. I'm going to go with one or the other, okay? And here's why though. So if I go with a 6-string, well, on stage, I need a backup for that 6-string guitar, okay? If I go with 7-string, well, I need a backup for that. So if I do both, if I have 6-string and 7-string stuff on this album, well, I need 4 guitars. Guys, I always take a backup of almost everything that I use when I'm playing live. I learned this lesson the hard way many times when I worked in the corporate world, and one of my bosses, you know, he was like, we always need a backup for every single thing that we do. And I just kind of carried that over into my life as a musician now. You guys know I left my corporate job. It's been over 3 years now. Hey, we're still making it. So I'm real happy about that. Give me a fist bump. I would like for you guys to comment below and tell me which track you like best. Do you like the original with the 7-string, that first track? And I'm gonna let you hear them again, by the way, okay? But do you like that one better? Or do you prefer the one with the 6-string, the version with the 6-string? Again, same drum track, 2 completely different songs. I'm gonna pick one of them. But yeah, I'm gonna let you hear those one more time. We'll end the video. But as you're listening, maybe listen to them one more time, or hey, go back and listen to them several times. I appreciate it. But yeah, drop me a comment below. Also, real quick plug, guys, after you watch this video, please check the description of this video. I've got links to my free metal riffs and licks practice guide. A lot of you have that already. And if you already have that, I've got links to my guitar courses in the description below. So do check that out. And hey, enjoy the tracks. I can't wait to read your comments.